This morning I'd like to make for you a sweet potato and chickpea curry along with some nice easy chapatis. All very healthy and nutritious, straightforward. The ingredients we're going to be using: onions, sweet potatoes, I'm using some vegetable stock cubes, we've got chickpeas, tinned tomatoes. Again, most things you can get pretty easily. There may be one or two issues with some of the seeds, which aren't crucial. I'll go through them as we do. Again, I think your recipe is for 4. I'm just doing this for 2. I'm going to start off by frying the seeds. We've got some caraway seeds. We've got some fennel seeds, which in fact we grew in our garden last year. Fennel seeds, it's great. And some mustard seeds, black or brown, doesn't really matter. If you can't get those, just double up on the caraway seeds. The caraway seed would be the one you really want. So the first thing I want to, also a bay leaf from the garden. First thing I'm going to do is get them on to cook. Again, I'm going to use groundnut oil for this. This is groundnut is peanut oil if somebody's got a peanut allergy. You could use vegetable oil. I try and use that as little as possible. But go for maybe some olive oil because we're going to be cooking at quite a low heat here. Or you could use ghee, something like that. So I'm just going to put some oil in my pan, about a tablespoon or 2, and get that on the heat. Now, while that's warming up, we'll get our onion ready. I'm just going to chop this quite small, but not minuscule. I'll just chop it as good as you can. Stick it in the blender if you can, if you're not happy with this, and just pulse it. Right, now before I do the other one, I'm going to put these in straight into the oil, and we're looking for a sizzle. Now once they start to go, we'll stick the onion in too. Don't have to be too smart. That's fine. Now, what have we got to say? Yeah. Let's have a look. In with the onions. Gonna let them cook now. Now, with most Indian dishes, it's important to let your onions cook for quite a while, so they change colour and become nice and sweet. So we're going to let them cook away. I'm using a couple of sweet potatoes for 2 people, sort of medium sized, about that size. If you think you can eat more, by all means use a bigger one. Just going to regulate the heat on that. We don't want them to burn, but I want them to, I'm looking for golden with a little, maybe a little red tint, but they need to be soft before you add the rest of the ingredients. That's quite important. So I'm going to chop these into bite-sized chunks, approximately 1 inch, something like that. Let's just go down the middle with that. So sweet potatoes are very high in beta-carotene, vitamin A. In order to convert the carotene to vitamin A, we need to eat sweet potatoes with fat, which converts the carotene to vitamin A. So for that reason I'm going to serve this with yogurt. You could serve it with sour cream, something like that, but that's really quite important. Okay. So that's about the right size there. Okay. We'll let that go. Now a little stir. And while they're cooking away, I'm going to make some chapati dough now. Okay. So I've got chapati flour here. You can't get chapati flour, you can just push use plain white flour, ideally half white and half wholemeal, would be good. So this chapati flour essentially is very fine wholemeal flour. Okay, so I'm going to add a pinch of salt to this. It's not there's 8 ounces of chapati flour there. I'm going to use approximately 4 ounces of water. So if you measure this out in a jug, your flour comes up to there, your water's up to about there, give or take. You want a good stiff dough. I use a fork to stop your hands getting too wet. Just bit by bit. You probably won't need it all. You might do. just bringing that together will give that a bit of a knead. Just about there. A little bit more. There we go. That's the 4 ounces. Together with my hand now. You just bring it together with your hand into a dough. Just get a touch of water. And if you add too much of one, you just add a little bit of the other until you get a pretty straightforward dough like that. Take that out, put it on the table. I don't think I'll need any flour. If I do, I'll get some. But I'm just going to work it to a soft dough, a smooth dough, and I'm doing that by using the heel of my hand and pushing it away from me, turning it round, pushing and turning round. Pick up any of the loose bits there and knead them in. And hopefully we'll leave the table nice and clean. I won't have to scrape it. Okay, just need a bit of a knead. Don't need to go too mad. Good exercise this, after we've all been in lockdown. Good for the abdomen. Okay, there we are. That's just about fine. I'm going to set that back in here. Only needs to sit for 5 minutes or so, not even that. Our onions have softened down nicely. Now we're going to add some more spices, not very many. We're going to add some chili powder, up to you how much you want to add. This is quite hot chili powder, so I'm going to add about half a teaspoon. I'm going to add some turmeric, about the same, maybe a little bit more. And then ground coriander, which is this stuff here. I'm going to add half of what I've said in yours, which is 2 teaspoons. Also need to add a little bit of salt as well. I'll just do that. About half a teaspoon of salt. We'll try a bit more afterwards if necessary. Okay, so I'm going to put them in, and I don't want these to burn. If they do, we'll add a little bit of water to stop them doing so, but that's fine. In with the tomatoes straight away. In with the chickpeas, that keep them with the sweet potatoes. And now the chickpeas. Give them a stir around. I'm going to increase the heat and add the stock. So I've got half a pint of vegetable stock, which is half a stock cube. You might not do it all, you want to do it just so that you can cover the ingredients or bring it up pretty flush. You might need a bit more, but I think that's spot on. And because I want to make some chapatis now, I'm going to lift this off this cooker and I'm going to put it on our main cooker here to simmer away while I do the chapatis. So this one, it's good to have 2 gas rings to do this, but if you haven't got gas, if you've only got electric, there's a way around it. I'll let you know about that. Okay, let's get that out of the way. First thing I'm going to do, I'm using an old frying pan. If you've got a griddle, use that. This is just an old non-stick frying pan. I'm going to put that on the heat. You want it quite hot, so whack it up to get a bit of heat in there. Back to the chapati dough. Here we are. Now I would think we'd get about 7 or 8 out of that. Usually roughly an ounce of flour to a chapati, but that's up to you. It depends what size you want them. Plenty of flour. So just break that in half, break it in half again, and we'll try and see what size these come out. Right, I'm not going to make all 8, I'll just make 3 or 4, something like that. See how we get on. Okay, roll them into a bowl. And then we need to roll them out quite thin. We want a circle, so just turn your chapati round as you go. You're rolling it out quite thin. You want it as thin as you can get it, really. So you're This is heating up nicely. Now if you go to a restaurant you'll get one twice the size of this, so make your bowl bigger if you wish to do that. Right, just knock off some of the flour. It's a dry pan, get them in there. Now we're looking for brown spots to appear on this and it'll start to puff up a little bit. Usually takes a while to start with, but once you get going you're on a roll and you're away. Plenty of flour. Let's have a look. Starting to come. Might just take a wee moment or two. I'll get the rest of these rolled out in the meantime. Now, this is where the fun starts. I'm going to get rid of this now. Now, shift everything over here. This is just a basket with a tea towel. So when the chapatis are cooked, I'm going to flame them, make them puff up on the gas ring. If you haven't got gas, stick them in the microwave for about 15-20 seconds and they'll puff up there. You won't get the same colour on them, doesn't matter, you can maybe get that in the pan. Here we go. We've got spots eventually starting to come on the chapati. So I think we'll just go with that. Turn this on. Where's my tongs? There we are. So we'll take this off. There you go, there's your bubbles. Throw it straight on the heat. Stick another one in. There it's puffing up. That's nice. Move it around a little bit. And this just gets it cooked all the way through. There we are. Right, I'll turn that down now. Back it off. Now what you need to do now, you don't have to, you need to add some oil, or in this case what I'm using ghee, which is clarified butter, which has been semi-fermented sort of thing, so it's really very good for you, very, very healthy. It's this stuff here. You see it around. As soon as this comes off, we'll stick another one on so it cooks. There it goes. As I say, you can just chuck them in the microwave and you'll get a similar effect. That's fine. Little brush with oil or ghee. Keeps it moist, adds a lovely flavour. Well, we're practically there. The sweet potatoes need about another 2 minutes and we're done. Wow. Smells lovely. We'll just taste it. Sweet potatoes, nice and soft. That's lovely. I think it maybe just needs a pinch of salt. And that little bit of chilli powder I put in is ample, I would have said. Well, it depends on the heat of your chilli powder. Let's just get rid of this fella. Okay, so the last thing I need to add to the curry is some chopped coriander, which really does go well. And when you're chopping coriander, don't chop it too fine. Nice and coarse. Just leave that to put some on top. I'm going to stir it through with my wooden spoon, which is here. Now you can add rice, you could serve this with rice as well, or instead of the chapatis, you probably won't need them both. There we go. And then the curd, there's some yogurt. I'm using the full fat Greek stuff, which is great. Nice dollop of that. Some coriander over the top. And a couple of chapatis alongside it. There you go, pretty straightforward. I hope you enjoy making that. Thanks, we'll see you again. Bye bye.